Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Superficial. We are chiropractors and functional medicine practitioners at Synapse Center for Health and Healing, located in Eagan, Minnesota. Information shared in this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat any medical conditions. Please consult with a primary care provider before engaging in any new activity or protocol. With that in mind, let's dive into this episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Superficial with the women of Synapse. Today we're going to be talking about how to nourish the body and things that you can do with your food to support yourself in the menopause stages. I'll introduce myself. My name is Dr. Amber Janetsky. I'm a chiropractor and functional medicine doctor here. I also do functional neurology and acupuncture.
I'm Carrie. I'm the health coach here.
I'm Dr. Ellie. I'm the pelvic floor health and I do hormone nutrition as well.
And I'm Jenica. I'm a health coach here as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's dive in.
Yeah, great. So talking about nutrition and menopause and foods that support different areas of that. So when thinking about supporting like building hormones as well as breaking them down, how to repair, nurture the hormones during this time of life. So there's a lot of different pieces to that and different foods that can benefit us in those areas as well, as not only fuel, but support in all of the areas that might be affected while our hormones are doing these things, while they're rebuilding, while they're breaking down, while they're repairing, and just a time where we can nurture them. So does anybody want to start with something that they know as far as foods that can support hormone balance in general?
I will dive in.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to talk about is sprouts. And so broccoli sprouts are a great way to get just great nutrient dense food. So lots of nutrients in a small amount. Okay. And that's because all the nutrients that are in that big head of broccoli are actually in the little sprouts. And then as it grows, it spreads out. So it's just very condensed. You can throw it in a smoothie. You can throw it in your salad. You can grow these at home for just pennies on the dollar. It's really cheap and easy. But what these do also not only give you nutrients, but they also have things like sulforaphane and indole 3-carbinol in them that help you detoxify your hormones in a healthy way. And so those are a great way to help with the balancing of the hormones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sprouts are fantastic. I know that another part of kind of the building block of just nutrients in general, we like the fatty fish, so getting omega-3s in, so eating also some of the nuts and seeds that are involved with that too. So chia and flax seeds can be common ones, good nutrient dense. They have protein, they have healthy fats. They're also containing anti-inflammatory type of components to keep inflammation down, which can really help support all of the areas that can contribute to good hormone health and let the hormones basically do their thing, what they need to do in the body as well. So those are the things, nuts and seeds, I like to say.
Can I jump in with
Yeah.
that before you move on?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite ways to get this in is through coconut or chia seed pudding.
Yes.
So making that with coconut milk, so easy. You just dump the chia seeds with the coconut milk and let it sit overnight. But then you can top it with things like pumpkin seeds or almonds. I always do a little cocoa nib in there. That increases your nitric oxide production, which you need as your hormones are changing your lipid profile. So that's just it feels like a naughty treat, and it's not. It's true. It's all good, yeah.
Yes.
And kind of talking a little bit about the biochemical of the omega-3s compared to omega-6s and 9s,
Yes.
is that we have a phospholipid bilayer around our cells, and it actually, the omega-3s and the 6 and 9s go and create that phospholipid bilayer. And so if you have a lot of 3s, that actually creates a very good protective mechanism that if something starts to attack the cell or bump into the cell, it has a normal reactionary process to it. Compared to if you have a lot of 6 and 9s, they are kind of more sensitive and they overreact, causing more inflammation in the body. So just a little bit more of that biochemical structure on why those omega-3s are so important and how they decrease that inflammation.
And we get plenty of omega-6 in our diet.
Yes.
And it's harder. I think you have to be a little more intentional to get omega-3,
Yes.
if not supplement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. We're finding that the whole source is always the best source. So looking at research when you're talking about omega-3s, yes, the supplement is amazing. I take omega-3 supplements, but you can't ever get better than the actual whole foods. So getting the fishes and the walnuts and the chia seeds will be way better and cheaper than the supplement version. And eggs.
Yeah, those are great examples
eggs.
of omega-3s. I know a lot of people question like nuts and seeds when we use that. Really, like the essential omega-3s in nuts and seeds are going to be your chia seeds and walnuts. The rest are going to have a higher omega-6 component. They still have some omega-6s in them, but that's good. No. That was going to lead me into the fiber thing next too, about getting fiber through whole foods too versus like fiber supplements. That's another important thing for that detoxing. Having continuous bowel movements daily will really help with that detox of the hormones.
Yes.
So that was just leading me into the fiber thing.
Yeah, and that helps with lipid metabolism too.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's great. I was just going to mention, just to touch points on the fact that nuts and seeds are very calorie dense too. So this is like, a fourth of a cup, not bags of it, because some people will just snack on it and be like, why am I gaining weight?
Yes.
They're great.
Yes.
Yes, eat them, but you do have to be a little mindful.
Well, I heard a really great point too, talking about fiber. So if somebody wants to eat, processed foods to get their vegetables, if they want, say for potato chips, you could eat with potato chips, like 5 potatoes full of, just chips. But if you ate 5 potatoes with all the fiber, right, you're not going to eat as much food. But plus you're eating all of the terrible seed oils that are on potato chips. And so it's just, think about that. What's also on there, the fiber, it is what's missing that is actually so good for short chain fatty acids in the gut and also moving things along. And it tempers a blood sugar spike, having actual fiber from vegetables. So don't skip the vegetables. I'm not a big fan of white potatoes all the time, but I would say that definitely over potato chips.
Yeah, right. There's still good nutrients, and
there
are. White potatoes. We're so scared of them, but I mean, yes, don't eat them all the time, but
portion sizing, and then also how can you decrease the glycemic load? Boiling is the best way to make them to keep the glycemic load or glycemic index low.
And also keep the skins on. So the skins are like extremely nutrient dense and fiber dense. So I don't skin any of my fruits or vegetables when I don't have to, and just eat the skin in my smoothies.
What about kiwis?
I was just gonna say,
you eat the skin of kiwis?
in my smoothies, I just plop the whole kiwi in. Yeah,
I have started to.
The fuzz.
I did start to because Ashley showed me, and I was like, "You eat it?" And she's like, "Yes."
She just
I'm
eats
like,
it.
Yeah, it's so
so I
fiber
didn't
dense
hear
and
that.
nutrient
And
dense.
my
That's so much easier to
3-year-old.
cut.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, literally,
for
it's
sure.
not even cutting.
All
Maybe
right.
that's
You
just straight up
like an
eat it.
apple. Yeah.
All right.
My 3-year-old was like, "Mom," and so I'm like, "You want to try it?" And he, didn't have it. They're kind of hard to chew through. Some are, some are
of them
thinner.
harder. I like the golden ones. The
Yeah.
skin's a little bit softer.
It is.
Now, like really thick skin stuff, don't eat like the bananas and the oranges. Don't eat that.
Yeah.
But if it's a thin skin, then you can eat it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yes, awesome. But it made me start thinking about like mangoes too. So I was like, I feel a mango. I didn't like that. So I was like, I should probably know this. These things. So that kind of leads me into if somebody else has anything else on that of nurturing your hormones with carbs. Okay, because a lot of people shy away from carbs, and there's times to do it. There's a difference between those that are still cycling and those that are not as well. When we talk about how to nurture through food as well, and we can get into that a little bit with fasting too. But when nurturing hormones, like carbs are important, right? Like just cutting back on food and stop eating is not necessarily what I recommend people doing, but a lot of people do because all of a sudden they're gaining weight or they're experiencing these symptoms like mood swings, joint pain, energy, like I just don't feel like eating, things like that are shifting in this period. And so people will stop eating, or maybe they heard, cut carbs is the way to do it. And really nurturing, eating some potatoes, eating some carbs in your diet is okay and can be really helpful. You can get great nutrients in whole food options. So even like, good grain choices, and then good carb, starchy vegetables can be good things to add to your diet to nurture. There are great things that we can get in as far as like vitamins and minerals, phytonutrients, anti-inflammatory properties from some of those foods too, if they do well for you. So I did want to mention that as far as when we brought the potatoes and things like that, when people kind of shy away from the carbs, but those can be really nurturing, especially at different parts, kind of where you're at in that menopause period too, or what you're experiencing that day. Depleting yourself or depriving yourself isn't always the best choice.
And a lot of our hormones, especially our feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin, require a good amount of carbs. So if you don't eat it, then you are depleting your body of the nutrients to make serotonin and dopamine, which makes sense why you feel sad if you don't eat carbs, which also makes sense why you feel so good when you eat carbohydrates, because you get that dopamine and serotonin rush, which is good. It's not a bad thing.
And that can affect your melatonin levels and your ability to sleep too.
Full circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Goes back to one of those symptoms.
Do you want to break down that mechanism for
No.
people? No.
No, and I'll tell you why. I swear, when I was in veterinary school, I swear I learned the connection between carbohydrates, making the serotonin, and then moving into melatonin. But then Dr. Josh said, no, you don't need carbs to make that happen. And so I'm a little confused, and I have not clarified that, so I will not comment on it.
Top of the cascade is tryptophan, tyrosine.
Yeah.
So
You might not need carbs for that.
yes, yeah. In my mind, it's protein.
But I
amino
see it
acids.
in practice. Like I see it when people remove the carbs and sleep starts to get affected. So I don't know the science all
I've
the way.
heard it that I've learned it the way that you learned it.
Yeah.
We'll have to deep dive, and we'll have a
get back.
follow up.
There we
Yes.
go. A deep dive. For next,
to be determined.
yeah,
Yes.
for next series, the deep dive.
Well, we are going to do one on sleep, so maybe
Yeah.
we can bring it up.
There we go.
Maybe we can bring it up then. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Stay tuned.
What are your thoughts on soy? I hear a lot of people afraid of soy because it made my estrogen too high, is what people say.
So we talked about this a little bit in the estrogen dominance one, because I had that question as well. What do you say about soy and like phytoestrogens in general? Is it too high? Is it too low? Kind of where you're at? Is that for you both? I know we touched on it. Dr. Ashley touched on it a little bit in that one, the importance of the phytoestrogens. And where it's coming from.
So my understanding is the soy stimulates the beta receptors, the estrogen beta receptors, more so than the alpha receptors. The beta receptors are typically more considered the anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, where the alpha are more of the bigger issue with the cancer causing. So soy got a bad rap because people didn't specify which receptor it was stimulating. So I have no problems with soy. However, the soy in America, just GMOs, so it's one of the higher allergy causers or food sensitivities that people have, and it'll cause inflammation in the body. But that's probably because of the source of the soy. It might not be might be GMO or sprayed, something like that. So I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I'm talking about soy. I don't mean soybean oil.
Yeah.
I mean actual, tempeh or
edamame.
Yeah.
However you say it.
Yeah, edamame overall has been a really good source of that phytonutrients as well. And there's a lot of research pointing that it really can help decrease the amount of menopausal symptoms that you have if you eat soy consistently, especially the hot flashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's point. Yeah, the phytoestrogens in there. It's a great point. That and like the flaxseed, the legumes, all those being kind of plant-based sources of protein. Not where we want to get all of our protein from as far as grams of protein that we're aiming on, but can have great properties in them, as well as contain some of those proteins. So.
I'll throw in another protein, somewhat rich plant source protein is spirulina.
Yeah.
Lots of antioxidants. That's another easy way, just a small amount. It's just a blue-green algae. It's hard to get one that's really still active, not just like, I guess, dead because of the processing of it. You can get one place is called Alive Spirulina. True Sea Moss is another brand that's a gel that you can just either put it in your smoothie or just take a spoonful of it. That's another nutrient dense food to support in this stage of life. Yeah.
Wow. Just kind of speaking back to the soy piece, just to make this a little bit more personal. So I did remove soy for a long period of time, just due for like gut and sensitivity stuff, but also was dealing with some hormone stuff. So I took soy out for quite a while, and I've slowly started to bring it back in and notice a difference in libido. Is that something that is correlated? I know with estrogen, obviously, is associated, but since bringing it back,
Crashing it or making it better?
Better, like just more
nice.
like, and just like in general, like energy boost from that. So, yeah, which would be a dopamine, more or less, anything.
It could just be anti-inflammatory. It could be helping your system in other ways.
Yeah.
I don't know a direct link to testosterone, but it could be taking stress off in a different way, so your testosterone can be boosted.
Yeah. Interesting. Because I figured my hormones could probably use it, just being depleted. And so just like there's other symptoms, but I was just like, that's an interesting one that I could start changing. So
cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, personal
More
tip in there.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Love it.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Other things, gut health and mood, as far as those changes go in menopause.
I'll throw out another nutrient-dense food to throw in your smoothie is moringa. That's another one that you have to get a good quality source. Sage Women Herbs is a website that you can get either leaves or powder. You can throw that in your smoothie. Just another way of getting, so especially when we're talking about weight gain, like how do we get the most nutrients, without worrying about calories so much too. Right. That's another easy way to increase that.
Well, that's helpful for my patients, that there are people that just really don't like meat. They don't want to eat it. It makes them gag and they just can't. And so finding other sources, the hard part is getting protein from dairy or from, your Greek yogurt or other sources that have a lot of carbohydrates. So then your carbs are a little too high just to get that amount of protein. So I think paying attention to little helpful tips like that in so that you're not having a higher calorie dense or too high of carb. I try to keep carbs a little lower than protein as far as macros. And so that's great. That's helpful.
When we just were talking about a recent seminar too, just branched chain amino acids that don't have maybe 1 calorie, but they help you maintain that muscle mass. So that's another thing to just maybe consider adding in at this stage of life is, as another way to boost
We are really building our morning drink here.
We are. We could give our examples. I can give mine.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Well, I'll throw another one that sometimes I'll throw in is just turmeric, like the actual root. You just get it at the grocery store. It's orange in color. Be careful, it stains things. And you just throw a sliver in there. You can throw it in your foods and your eggs, but careful, it does have a little earthy flavor to it. So if you get too much, you really taste that, but just a little bit goes a long ways. And if you can get a really good seasoning of it, a dried powdered form from a good store, that's another way. Yep. Yeah. But ginger too. Ginger is another good soother for the stomach. Tastes good. You can juice with it. Anti-inflammatory. So just some really good foods.
Good in this season coming up where people are getting more colds and they'll feel warm from drinking ginger and plus with tea
with lemon. What is your morning smoothie?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, well, always protein powder. And let me just, not just protein powder, but I love, I'm not a big fruit smoothie person. I'm more a vegetable smoothie. So, spinach, I think cucumbers are really helpful because but I love a juiced carrot, from an actual, it's hard because I want the fiber of the carrot, but I like that as a base of a juice.
Yeah.
Or if I do a smoothie that I want to do protein powder, I'll do macadamia nut milk. I like a lot. And I love Paleo Valley bone broth protein. And then I do flaxseed, hemp seeds, and sometimes I'll do I'll do one berry, like not one berry, but one like
Group.
one
Serving,
fruit,
yeah.
one fruit, blueberries or strawberries or something like that. But I'm not like a mango and a banana and a
You get too
all
much
of those
sugar.
things.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a morning smoothie?
I do. I love adding matcha to my smoothies because I hate the taste of matcha, but I love the benefits of it, especially when it comes to regulating your hormones. Those EGCGs
Mm-hmm.
are just so amazing at helping everything. Then that little boost always helps. I like to add reishi mushrooms. I find that really helps my immunity a lot. I do a tablespoon of nuts and cauliflower, spinach. I'm into dragon fruit right now. That helps keeps you very regular.
I never had it.
I've heard, yes.
Yes.
So the seeds.
Yes.
Oh.
It is very nice, especially if you're pregnant and you feel a little stuck.
There you go. We were thinking about that the other day. That's a good solution.
There you go. And then my whole kiwi and a little bit of oatmeal, chia seeds, flax seeds, all the seeds.
Now, which one? My mind's lost it there. Do you do fresh? What was the first thing you said? One of the first things.
The matcha?
No, the mushroom.
Oh,
do you do
the
fresh or powdered?
powdered.
Okay.
Yep, make it easy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I do add spirulina, but I am thinking I should probably go back and make sure that it's live.
It's a good source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And beet powder.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of beets.
Yeah.
Beets, even a whole beet in a smoothie, you don't really taste it
No,
if you
beets in a smoothie
blend
are
it
the way
right.
to go.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
gives us our color.
Mhm.
At home for sure. Like I'll put less berries in and more beets just to give it that color. And my 3-year-old's like, "Oh, it's a berry smoothie." I'm like,
Yes.
I mean, he knows nothing. The poor kid's taste buds, like our poor daycare lady. But like I talk about that very frequently. But it is kind of funny to see like his excitement over Halloween versus everyone else's. It's like, oh no. We'll see where this goes. But things I like, you mentioned the cauliflower. That's huge. I will add that to every single smoothie to get my vegetable in. That's my favorite vegetable to add to a smoothie. I'll
Because
do
you have fresher but frozen.
Frozen. Keep it cheap. Keep it easy.
Yes, exactly. And I'll even put, if I have cauliflower rice, because that's usually what we have,
There you go.
I'll put just cauliflower rice in there. It does blend up a little bit differently than the whole cauliflower, because if my blender isn't super great, it'll kind of come out as like cauliflower rice in there if I don't do it well. But the bone broth protein also adds a nice creaminess to it. So if you blend it, this is just a tip. When you blend it, it will get very like thick and like will expand a bone broth protein in if you blend it at high speeds for a long period of time. So it'll thicken up and kind of like a gelatin if you let it sit too. So if you let it sit, it'll turn to a gelatin in your fridge. And so it just expands and gets kind of fluffy. So just something to think about if you're blending it. If you're like shoving your thing full and put bone broth protein in there, it will expand a little bit. Love bone broth protein powder. I use Amy Meyer's MD. I've used that for a very long time. Absolutely love it. And there's a lot out there now. I just had 2 patients send me 2 different ones. I was like, looks good. So I think people are getting on the train of getting the right amino acids in their protein powder. But ginger, always a huge clump of ginger. And then whatever greens or veggies that I have, I will get like camu powder or the berry I can't think of right now for vitamin C.
Golgi?
Acerola?
Yes, that powder. We'll put that in there for some additional vitamin C. And then, it kind of depends on what I want to use for my fat. Coconut milk. Vanilla almond milk has been the new thing in our house. Califia Farms has a vanilla almond milk that is, the organic is only 3 ingredients, and it's been our new thing at the house. So I don't have to add vanilla in there. So yeah.
Nice.
Fun. That was great.
That was.
I know, and mine too. In the summers, at least, I'll be growing basil and oregano, or even just mint. Just pull off those and put it in the smoothie. It's so good. Yeah,
Keeps it fresh. Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that tastes great.
oregano, antibacterial, so good. Yeah, it's anti-parasitic.
Yeah, it is. It's all.
I have one more. I don't know. I have one more thing I'd like at least to bring up is the sugars.
Yeah, that was going to say stabilizing blood sugar during this time. So when we think about like reducing our glucose, like keeping glucose low, and why?
Yeah. Well, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. That's really easy to find in our society. So you got to watch those numbers.
Yeah. When you just question with
Yeah.
that, I get this question a lot. Are we looking at added sugar or 25 grams of added sugar or natural occurring
Added
sugars?
sugar. Now, I also tell patients to keep sugar or fruits to 2 or less per day because those have natural sugars in it. That goes for juice drinks too. That sugar counts. Honey counts. Maple syrup counts. But that number in particular is the added sugar. But yes. And
Which
then,
seems so high still. 25 grams of added sugar.
A day.
A day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one coffee drink from Starbucks or half a coffee drink from
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yogurts.
Yep.
Yes, and
Gotta
yogurt.
look at it because you can pick different. If you look at the rest, if you look at the ingredients, you just can pick the better one. You just got to know. A big reason why too is women in menopause. We'll talk about itching, scalp itching, under the bra strap itching, part of the region, and vaginal bacterial overgrowth. BV, bacterial vaginosis, like we were talking about this morning. Part of that is because the pH is changing on your skin and vaginal surfaces because your estrogens are lower. Your pH becomes more basic, and that allows for things like yeast and other bacteria to grow that wasn't having an issue back when we were cycling. But then when we then add sugars in, then we feed those and then we start feeling the itch. And I know for like personal experience, it doesn't take much, and then, got to keep those areas dry, but also just keeping the sugars really low.
Yeah. Yes. Great points. And
That's a
then
good tip.
that is. Blood sugar balance too, becoming more sensitive to some of these things. So first, I like to tell people just the order of your food first and foremost. Like fiber is super important for this period, for just hormones in general. And so eating fibers first, and then also kind of leading into that fasting period. I'd like to tell people a minimum of 12-hour fasting anyway, for just kind of a universal for at this stage. And then when you break that fast, to break it with fiber versus a carb or a sugary option like fruit or carb-rich food or snack. Starting with fiber, then moving on to protein, and then your carb. And so that can be another way to stabilize blood sugar, and by doing that, eating whole food fiber would be that point. So anything else people want to mention as far as that goes too?
Well, protein. I had to bring that up.
Yes.
30 grams of protein per meal. If you're skipping your protein, it's just helpful for blood sugar balance. And yes, I always say that same thing. Fiber first, your protein, your fat, and then your starchy carb, whatever. That tempers that blood sugar spike by 30% if you start that way. But also, I wanted to mention fasting. You brought that up. So a lot of people hear fasting is the best way to lose weight, and it's for every woman, it's for everyone, and it's really not for everyone. It definitely for cycling women, you have to time it exactly right. So you don't want to just go willy-nilly and just fast all you want to, because it will affect your cycle. And but in perimenopause and menopausal women, sure, I like the 12 hours overnight. I think is great. It is a quick way to reduce inflammation. It also helps your body to burn stored fat. We want your body to be metabolically flexible, meaning it can burn fat, it can switch to burning carbs, it can switch to burning fat. So fasting does help there. However, people that need to avoid fasting are if you have adrenal fatigue, if you're feeling like that your adrenals aren't functioning optimally, so you're wired and tired at the same time. I'm tired, my body's tired, but I'm too wound up to sleep. That's an indication that your adrenal, you might be having an issue with your either too high of cortisol or too low of cortisol. And we definitely recommend testing. We love to test the cortisol curve. We have a great test that comes from Dutch. That's a 4-point urine during the day. You can also do 4-point saliva, but it really shows us where your cortisol is at all points throughout the day. And it's important. And if you're too high of cortisol all the time, your blood sugar is up, even if you're not eating. And the things that we're talking about here are stressors to the body. It's not just, I'm running late for work, or, my kids are stressing me, or my husband, or whatever. It's also stress inside the body. So plummeting hormones is a stressor inside of the body.
Inflammation.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
inflammation.
definitely inflammation. And thyroid dysfunction. So our thyroid tends to not operate as well as we get older into perimenopause and menopause. So it's definitely something you want to keep a watch on. So if you have the thyroid symptoms, I'm cold, I'm losing half of, hair off my eyebrows, what else? Tired, just fatigue. These are all things to pay attention to. You're probably not the best candidate for fasting, for 24-hour fast, or definitely not a 48-hour fast. I think overnight, there is benefit to stopping eating at 7 o'clock and not eat until 7, 12 hours overnight. But the bigger fasts, because you're looking to lose weight, let's just chat about it.
Yeah.
It's definitely something.
Make sure that cortisol's in the right zone.
Yep. Yes.
Because you won't feel good either. If you're doing a fast and your cortisol is tanked, for example, you're not going to balance your blood sugar, and you're going to get migraines, you're going to get irritability, you're not going to like doing this fast. So it's good to make sure.
Yeah, listening to your body is really key. If it's not working for you, like personalizing plans, right? Like this is not one size fits all. I think that's the most important part of what we do. Is not everybody's going to experience menopause the same way or perimenopause the same way.
Right.
And so we want to be able to help with that. We offer a variety of things, but nutrition is one easy place to start. And by getting a whole foods diet, main things, getting a whole foods diet, limiting your sugar. I like to say 3 grams of added sugar per less than 3 or less grams of sugar per serving in something that you're eating is something that's considered a better option, in my opinion. When you get more like 3 to 6, that gets into kind of that yellow zone, and then anything higher than that, that's 6 to like 8 or 6 or above, that's when we kind of get in that red zone, because things add up, right? Serving sizes add up very quickly. It's in a lot of things, so checking labels, right? So reducing sugar or avoiding and just incorporating natural sugars into your diet, so removing refined sugars, and then watching caffeine intake. Did anybody want to speak about caffeine at all during this period? I thought that would be another good one. Sorry, I know that is
Throw that in there.
Yeah, that's one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess simple is it can stress your adrenal glands and your cortisol more, and it's going to make you spike your blood sugar and kind of drive your metabolism, and then you're going to crash. It affects your ability to get into deep sleep. Caffeine, people will say like it gets out of your body in a certain amount of time, depending on your genetics. That may or may not be true. And then also the metabolites, as it's getting detoxified, some of those metabolites I've learned can actually be more excitatory. So you kind of get that second. I notice myself, you get that second kick in, sometimes in the middle of the night with it. And so I know personally, I have to keep caffeine all out. Even if I have some in the morning, I don't sleep well. But yeah, it just helps with mood regulation. It helps you. So natural things like doing like mushroom coffees, or like not with the caffeine, but like rasa, R-A-S-A, is a nice herbal mushroom adaptogenic tea that you can do instead of coffee. I might do some like caffeine-free chai or something like that. But yeah, that's I guess what I would say.
And a lot of women, especially a lot of women that try to lose weight, drink a cup of coffee in the morning and skip breakfast. Yes. And that is one of the worst things that you can do for your adrenal glands, because it stresses them out, but then it doesn't give them any support. Yeah. And so if you take anything away, is eat breakfast with your coffee at least. Minimum. Always eat with your coffee.
My number one thing. If you're going to do it, eat with it.
Now, if coffee has great benefits cognitively in research. It helps with things like preventing Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, that kind of stuff, and cognitive decline. So if you are in a good place with your cortisol is doing well, life is easy, everything else is great. Getting a good organic, mold-free coffee can be a good with lots of good antioxidants. It can be done well, but
we're definitely not anti-coffee, just smart coffee.
Right. At the right time. Yes.
I think that goes into food isn't just fuel. It also is nervous system support, sleep support, it's emotional support. Like it's all these areas that this whole food diet is really a big piece of. The last thing I just wanted to mention, removing is alcohol for kind of very similar reasons to the caffeine with those adrenals, and then also that liver stress. So it's going to put it's going to be harder to detox the hormones. So,
yeah, well, I think we talked about this in another podcast, is that your hormones are changing and you actually change your ability to detoxify alcohol, and you don't become a very good detoxifier of alcohol. So that's why we always say, oh man, I used to in my 20s, I could go all night, wake up in the morning and not have a hangover, but now you have one and you're like shot the next day. And that's partly because of the hormone shifts. And so alcohol, it's a toxin. There's nothing good about it. Maybe it relaxes you and it can help from a stress reduction standpoint. And that's where some of the research, I think, why it shows positive in the research in some areas, but you can do that in other ways.
Right.
Totally. You can have a kombucha. You can have, with the mocktails, different kind of adaptogens that you can drop into your...
Kappa.
Yeah. So there's other ways to do that without having the toxic effects.
Well, and even with estrogen dropping, histamine can be higher.
Yeah.
So then alcohol is histamine plus it affects the DAO enzyme that breaks down histamine. So it's like a double whammy, and then you wonder why does my skin hurt in the morning? Why do I just feel so terrible the next day?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I think people reach for that a lot during this stage, though, for those reasons, because we're experiencing those mood shifts. The also social situations change a lot during this time too. Yeah. And people start to retire or have more time or whatever that looks like. Hopefully,
our kids move away and we're depressed.
But
that's only going to make it worse.
Emotional. No, but that emotional side that's kind of what I was speaking to. Like emotions kind of play a role in that and there's research behind that, what we reach for and like what becomes normal in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. And then also, why are things changing in my 50s and 60s when I reach for that same thing? It's because these hormones are shifting at the same time.
Yep. I don't drink very rarely, like maybe once or twice a year, and there's no issue. Nobody ever gives me a hard time about it.
Yeah, right.
I have just as good a time having something different.
It definitely is becoming more a part of the culture.
Yeah,
it is.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, people leave me alone about it.
Yeah.
And there are mocktail options at a lot of nice places now. I'm very surprised.
Really good.
Yeah.
We're watching the sugar. But
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Sounds great.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with more episodes.
That concludes today's episode of Beyond the Superficial. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more episodes. For more information, please visit our website, www.officialsynapse.com, your partners in healthy living for optimal life. We would love to hear from you on how our podcast might be impacting your life. We also want to hear what interests you. Please leave your feedback on our media page at www.officialsynapse.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.